views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Are you a startup or a small business owner? And do you want to find better ways to increase your revenue? Well, maybe you're an entrepreneur who's actually looking for ways to increase sales and grow your profits. Well, stick around for today's show because on today's show, we got some information, plenty of it, and plenty of advice that's coming up on this edition of Perspectives with yours truly, Daren Jaime.
What's on your mind?
Let 'em know.
Express what's on your mind. What's on your mind?
Let 'em know.
Anything relevant to life, you bring it to the table. Whether you make a move solo or a movement with a stable. No fables, you speak on your decisions. Cause in the long run, it's your voice, your views, your vision. Keeping it real with many messages for you to know. This ain't radio, but DJ runs the show. Entertainment, he rocks it. Politics, he locks it. The host with the most would handle any topic. Don't forget to share your perspective with shines of light. Cause it might make a difference in someone else's life.
Make a difference.
What's your perspective?
Express what's in your heart and your mind. Share your perspective.
What's your perspective?
And hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Perspectives. I am Daren Jaime. We thank you for watching and joining us. And as you know, Perspectives are seen every week here on BronxNet's Channel 67. If you have Verizon Fios, of course, that's Channel 33, and always on the web at BronxNet.org. I want to let you know you can stay connected to us via our social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Also, if you want to reach out on a professional page, Daren C. Jaime on Facebook, you can get some more information and inspiration. But coming up on today's show, talking about small business. And my guest joining me today is an award-winning business and development executive and enhancement professional who has managed training and development programs at Fortune 100, well, I should say Fortune 1000 companies. He's an author, speaker, trainer, certified business transformation coach, also digital marketing professional. Now, I want to let you know exactly what he does. You know, he assists companies in developing strategic business growth. But today, he's going to be joining me, helping to give you and our viewers some key business and wealth advice, ideas on how you can become more successful. And pleased to have Mr. Ronald McKnight join us here on the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Good to be here.
Hey, listen, it's good to have you as we continue to talk about all the great work that's going on.
All things business.
Yeah, all things business.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
let's get down to business.
Okay.
We talk about small business. It's the lifeblood of America, right?
Right.
And when we think about America would not be where it would be today
Because of small
without
businesses.
small business,
That's
right?
That's right.
But yet and still, even for small business today, there's still the struggle.
Right. Yeah, it's a struggle because of, for many reasons, first of all, you know. I always say, looking at what we do, one part of the struggle is education. Just not getting the tools and information folks need to run a business. So what happens is we get folks who are great at cooking, or I'm going to open a restaurant. You know, they're great at being an electrician or be a plumber. Okay, let me start a business. But what they don't do, many of them, is make sure they get that information to make sure they succeed at whatever it is that they're going to do.
And so we want to get some people some information today
Right.
because helping businesses to grow, right?
Right.
Let's walk about some solutions because when you talk about businesses, everybody wants to make a profit.
Right,
But
right.
in order to make a profit, you have to first be successful. So what are some of the things that businesses need to be doing to have these better solutions towards growth?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, the first thing, of course, is education, but even before that, so why are you in business? You know, I found out back, I guess, when I was 17, I used to be a professional model actor, you know, and so I was on most of the major magazines and TV, magazine and newspapers in this country, from Wall Street Journal to New York Times to Ebony, Essence, you know, whatever it is. You know, I was in those magazines, and I did work on Saturday Night Live and All My Children, One Life to Live, all that good stuff. But what was key for me, and I found out at a very young age, is that what's the business here? You know, so I'm the business. You know, so I had to learn that this business called you is like, how do I bring that business to the marketplace? How do I get folks to buy into who I am and what I can do? You know, so that was like the first part of me understanding and being business, you know, and so whenever I was with a casting agent or whenever I was with a manager or whoever, or auditioning or whoever, I had to understand, I had to get those folks to buy into who I am. So most businesses today need to do the same thing. You know, you are this business. You know, so how do we get folks to buy into who you are? You know, how do we, folks are talking branding now. You know, how do people buy into this brand called you? You know, so that's important. So you got to do that. Ask those crucial questions of why am I in business? And everyone's not in business to make $1 million.
Right.
You know, some folks are just in business just to, you know, make enough to feed the family. You know, some folks are in business, you know, to do that, then some. You know, you got to look at lifestyle choices. You know, because all that's important, because we don't want to do that a lot of folks do is, because you want to take those profits and put it back into the business. What a lot of folks do is take those profits and start spending and, you know, buying a nice car and, you know, going on your vacations and so forth, you know, but you don't, you know, you want to take those profits and reinvest back in the business, which means that it may be a while before we buy that real nice car. It may be a while before we go on that real nice vacation or keep up with the Joneses.
I know you have some very crucial information. I want to talk about some crucial business growth programs.
So I'm a business coach, you know, and I call it transformation because we transform businesses, right? So I'm working with a company called Leaders Worldwide. You know, we have about 700 coaches throughout the world. You know, so and the system that we have is ranked number 12th worldwide, with Tony Robbins being the first system. You know, so Carl Bryant, who is one of the owners, this is the system that we use. And so what we do is we meet with businesses, and our sweet spot, our sweet spot is businesses that's $2 million and down, which means that we also work with startups as well, you know, and 10 employees and down, which once again, you know, it could be someone who has no employees. So what we do is education's first. So we put them through a 52-week training program, you know, and so part of that 52 weeks, we touch them like twice a week, you know, so it's for personal development and business development. You know, so on the personal development side, we're looking at goal setting, you know, we're looking at how leadership skills, we're looking at customer service skills, all those different things that make you a better person when you deal with someone, you know. And then we look at the business part, you know, what is your in terms of what's important, you know, what's different than, you know, from you than someone else. You know, what is your USP, you know, there, you know, your selling point. You know, so we look at a lot of different things on the business. How do we get you once again to the marketplace so folks can kind of see your business as opposed to seeing another business, your competitions, say. So we take them through that 52-week program, but as we're doing that, we also have them to build their business and within 90 days make some money as well. Yeah.
And talk about 90 days making some money. I mean, everybody wants to have revenue.
Right.
Wants to increase their revenue. What are some of the key strategies that I think you want to tell us the small businesses need to have in order to increase that revenue? Because I think that's what everybody does, right? I start my day off and want to make more money.
Yeah. So what we do is we look at the 5 crucial areas of revenue growth, right? So we look at leads, you know, whether you're getting enough leads in to your business, whether you're speaking to enough folks who knows about your business, you know. Then we look at transactions, you know, conversions. We got these leads, did we convert them? You know, so we got 100 leads out here. How many did we convert? You know, so that we can, you know, keep the doors open. You know, same thing with transactions. In terms of, and then we look at profits. We look at higher prices. Now, I have a client who owns a restaurant, you know, and she puts together a great brunch on Sunday. You know, so when I first, you know, spoke to her, I went in and saw that. Now, normally I would spend $30, $35 for brunch, right? I went to her restaurant. It was only $9.99. Right. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, you know, how do you even survive at $9.99? But right away, I totally have to increase your prices. So when we look at revenue growth, sometimes we got to look at our prices, and sometimes we have to increase those prices also. You know, so how do we, like for her, how do we bundle her brunch maybe with some gospel? You know, so now we brought in a nice gospel singer, so now we have a gospel brunch. You know, so that one way we can increase the prices.
Right.
Yeah, you know, plus bring more folks to the to her business, because now we have a mega church in town, right? So we make sure we get singers from there who can bring in the congregation. You know, now she's have more business.
Right. I want to talk about one word when we come back. Focus.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll talk about focus.
Sure.
Come right back. Have more. Stay with us. We're talking business. Handle your business. We're handling ours right here. Be right back. Right after this.
maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions,
Love it.
cross-referencing travel sites, and booking all your flights with those.
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh, but now they're like, aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted
And we are back here on Perspectives and glad to have you sharing with us. And if you want to get more information about exactly how to make your business better, well, we got Ron McKnight here, and he's been sharing a little bit with us about small businesses. And I started out the show, small business is the lifeblood of America. When we look at how America grows, it's through the life and the lens of small business. And sometimes small businesses are excelling, sometimes they're challenging, and many times businesses even close their doors within the first 5 years. And so what do you do to keep that business going past the 5-year threshold, moving it into an area of sustainability and success? And Ron McKnight shares a little bit with us, and I'll come with one word, and I think you just whoop, swing away, focus.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Focus is extremely important. With some business owners do that, they're not as focused in their business, and they really need to be. I wrote a book on focus.
Yes.
You know, I wrote that book for business owners as well as just for youth. You know, how to be more focused. You know, and when I look at focus, we look at, you know, can you start a task without distractions or procrastination? You know, and to me, that's having focus. You know, so what I work with business owners, again, is just make sure that they're focused. They don't have a lot of distractions in their business. Distractions can be anything from a bad marriage, can be a distraction. It could be not getting enough sleep to run your business. You know, it could be you running the business, but I got to pay these bills, so I got to also have a part-time job. You know, so there's a lot of different stuff that kind of take us away from the business, and that's why focus is so important. Focus in terms of, you know, what is my competition doing? You know, focus in terms of what's my next step, what's my next play in this business? You know, to keep, as you were saying earlier, keep the doors open.
And it makes the difference because when you talk about having a business, right, and you've got your competition next door, and sometimes the difference is that other business is more focused, more driven, and I still got some management issues.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's like how do you go up against even a major company? When we look at focus and putting together the strategy, I used to own an alarm security company. I was an ADT dealer. You know, so my major competition was ADT, the parent company. You know, as well as Sloman's and the rest of them. And so, for me, I had to kind of look at the competition and say, what are their weaknesses? So I know Sloman's took like 3 weeks to put in an alarm system. I knew ADT took like a week. So what I was telling my potential customers that I can do it in 24 to 48 hours. You know, I had my installers, I had everything in place, and that's how we did well and took a lot of business. You know, even from them, you know, the major companies, is because one, I still had ADT behind me. You know, but I looked at their weaknesses and said, okay, what can I do better? And for me, the better was getting that system in much quicker, because when you get robbed, when you get robbed, the house get robbed or whatever, you know, that's not a great feeling. You know, it's like, how can I kind of fix this and kind of patch this up right away? I don't want to wait 3 weeks for someone to come and install alarm systems. I don't want to wait, you know, a week. But can I get it done in 24 to 48 hours? And that's what I would do in terms of looking at my competition, you know, and making sure the focus is there.
Right, and you know, and talk about focus, you also have what's called focus groups, and I know part of what you do,
so
you assemble business leaders together.
Right, so in terms of sharing the information, you know, what we do, and we do this around the country, we put together focus groups. You know, so a focus group is a group that meets monthly, and it could be no more than about 10, maybe 20, upwards to 20 small businesses. You know, and we talk. They come in, and we have that conversation about, so what worked this week, what didn't work. You know, we have the conversation on how can we increase your revenue. You know, one thing I do with business also is kind of look at their profit and loss statement. You know, see where they're spending the money, where they're losing the money, you know, that type of thing. But but focus group is really good because businesses get into the room, and it could be done we do it at college. Right here, we're doing it at a place called Cafe Metro in New Jersey, which is one of my clients. So I bring those folks into my client. They buy food from her, and and hopefully they'll come back. But it could be at a restaurant. We're doing a focus group in Brooklyn, April the 27th at a restaurant out there. But but they can bounce information off of each other also to see, okay, so what are you doing as a business that I need to be doing, or maybe what am I doing that maybe you shouldn't be doing, because it's not working for me.
Yeah. Talk about mistakes, the common mistakes that are being made, particularly small businesses.
We're in this new frontier to social media, and so when we look at marketing, there's so much stuff out there from ClickFunnels to, there's just a lot out there, and so you got to be really careful that you don't spend your money on stuff, on marketing that may not work. I tell folks to marry the traditional, with the new, and so traditional for me is door knocking still works.
Right.
I got one of the top chiropractors who's a client of mine in New Jersey by just knocking on his door and and speaking to him about increasing his revenue and his marketing. His top client is Chris Rock. So it still works. Email still works. I've gotten clients from QVC to New York Stock Exchange to a lot of folks still through email blasts. Email mark. Folks still, especially business people, they still open their emails. So I tell folks when it comes to marketing their business and trying to get new customers, do it all. Cold calling still works. But let's look at, I guess, the social media and all this other type of marketing as well.
We'll talk about that bottom line number, right? I was blown away by this because you said that less than half of 1% of small business owners actually reach $1 million in revenue.
Yeah, it's less. Well, understand also that SBA numbers, I think 60-something% go out of business in the first couple of years.
Okay.
So when you're looking at 60-something% going out of business, 70% going out of business, you can see why less than 1% actually even make it to $1 million, if they make it at all to $1 million. A lot of small businesses, we can walk around and look at small businesses and talk to business owners in the Bronx here, and they're just making it. Just making enough to keep the door open. Just making enough to feed the family. What we do is marketing costs money, and sometimes our clients are paying us anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a month just for marketing and helping them to grow their business. A lot of small businesses don't have that. Of course, that's when we come in with our e-learning marketing system, which is almost like a do-it-yourself that's very price conscious, But a lot of businesses don't have the money to even market their business. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, but someone told me that folks have just enough money to open up, and that's it.
Right.
Nothing that they don't have enough money to do anything else. So I would tell a lot of small businesses, work with their small business development centers, which is part of the SBA. Find those little incubators that you can work with. We have an incubator at a college in New Rochelle called Bergen Community College. I think the businesses, rent-wise, I went in there and kind of took a look at it. Rent-wise was only like $187, $200, $300. So there's places, depending on if it's a service business, this works.
Right.
If it's a retail business, it doesn't work. Right. But if you're a service business, you can go to any one of the colleges, look at the incubators, and pay little to nothing for rent if you need space.
Come back, take a quick break, get some final comments from Ron. When we return, we'll be right back. Stay with us right after this.
you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on a sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
And we are back here on Perspectives talking about small business. Our guest is Studio Ron McKnight, who has helped Fortune 1,000 companies and all in the area of small business. And when you talk about small business, it is the lifeblood of America.
Yes, it is.
And we need our companies. We need our companies to grow. And so you've been doing this for a minute. And how have you seen things change down through the years?
You know, through the years, I think the major problem for businesses is the economies. You know, when economies are like this, they're fine. But then all of a sudden we go into recession, or, you know, last recession almost to me was a depression, you know, and so that affects businesses. It affects businesses, businesses are affected in terms of money. You know, can you get money to grow your business? You know, can you have staff? One of my clients right now is dealing with a staff problem. You know, and I told her we have to be careful, because if we put a whole bunch of folks in your business, you know, do that create a problem for you? Because now we got folks saying that the service is terrible, you know. So you have to be very conscious also on how you grow, you know, and you can't grow too quickly, you know, to handle the, you know, whatever, you know. Whatever.
Yeah. The question should be, how do you add on, right? Because I know I got one person, and nowadays even with minimum wage, because with the increase in minimum wage, I hear from small business owners all the time, it creates a problem in terms of being sustainable. How do I know when it's time to really add on to bring
look at that revenue growth.
Yeah.
You know, you got to look at, you know, who you're servicing and who's coming through the door. You know, so those are some of the things to look at. You know, look at your bills. Look at, you know, can you manage the bills, you know, based on revenue and, you know, who's coming through the door. One thing that I realized with a lot of my customers is that they don't even know how much a potential customer even costs to walk through your door. You know, you got to put a price on. If you come through my door, my restaurant or my chiropractor or whatever, I got to know how much you're worth coming through my door. Now, my chiropractor knew that. He knew that, you know, that every customer that he gets is worth like $1,600 to him, you know. But other folks don't know what it's worth. So for me to keep my doors open, how many folks like you that need to come through my door? You know, and then who needs to come through my door? Because you really shouldn't be trying to say that everyone's your customer. You know, you need to find that niche. You need to find, you know, you need to fine tune and fine stream, you know, who your customers are. You know, and that's your target. You know, then you have that target audience, and you go after that audience.
Let you know, Ron McKnight is our guest in the studio. For people who want to get in touch with you and talk a little bit about the work that you do, I mean, you do some great work. Somebody's out there watching saying, listen, I want to take part. What do I do?
Right. Please go. First of all, I'm going to give you the number. 877-869-7121 is my toll-free number, 877-869-7121. My email, my web address, e1gbusinessacademy.com. That's businessacademy.com. And for those folks who are looking to get some free information, you know, we give you like 7 days of free information so you can start making money today, you know, dealing with that. You can go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble to pick up my book on focus. I also have a book on networking, because I think networking is extremely important when you have a business. Folks should be going to networking events, should be meeting folks. And just make sure that they kind of expand that network so that they can improve and do well in business as well, you know, business too.
As we talk now, make sure you get the information from Ronald McKnight, as he has shared, our guest here on Perspectives. And if you know, he's an award-winning business development and executive enhancement professional, and He's managed some people, trained some people, coached some people.
Right.
In order for a person to, of course, be successful, you have to be teachable and coachable, right?
You have to be teachable and coachable. You have to be very. There are folks who, for whatever reason, think that, okay, I'm not a student, or I'm not, they don't experience what they think would be school or college, because part of being successful is also being well read. You got to read and see what successful folks have done before you, or what they're doing today. If I'm in business as a restaurant business, I want to know maybe, with the red parrot, the red rooster. What are they doing down at Red Rooster? If I'm a chiropractor, so what are the top chiropractors doing out there? And go and interview folks. In my business, when I had my financial service company and when I had my alarm security, I went and I talked to people in that industry. I went to my, where I picked up all my equipment, my distributor, and I just kind of hung out sometimes, just talked to the different folks in there and said, what are you doing in your business? What's working, what's not working? But that's part of the whole networking piece. Right. You got to get out there and talk to people. You just can't have your head in your business with blinders on and just work, and not being out there in the field and see what's going on. You got to pick your head up out of the sand and see what's happening.
Well, we want to thank you for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you.
Sharing some much needed information.
Yes, sir.
McKnight, our guest in the studio. Listen, I want to let you know that you can find out more information. His information is at the bottom of the screen, as you saw throughout the course of the show. And, of course, tap into us here at Perspectives. We'll tap you and connect you with him. Small business, as we said, of course, is the lifeblood of America. And if you need some assistance, please go ahead and get it, because we need our businesses to be not just thrive, but, or I should say not just survive, but really be able to thrive. So that about wraps up for us here. I'm Daren Jaime. Until next time we meet, stay safe. Share your perspective with somebody else. You don't know. It just might make a difference in somebody else's life. Take care. God bless.
Perspective which shines a light, because it might make a difference in someone else's life.
Make a difference.
What's your perspective?
Express what's in your heart and your mind. Share your perspective.